Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let us get to that news. First of all, you probably already have heard about this by the time this video comes out, but a fan was recreating Metroid 2, which is a game originally released for the black and white Game Boy, so not the prettiest of games. Well, I don't know, that's debatable. I don't want to start any wars with die-hard Game Boy fanatics out there. But in any case, a fan decided, well, let's pretty this up with some color graphics and more 16-bit style graphics instead of the Game Boy style graphics. And they completed it, which proves me wrong in that, yes, some, well, not really. I've never said 100% of fan games don't get completed. I've always said basically 99% of fan games don't get completed, and this is that 1% that actually did get completed. It was released, and then Nintendo sent a takedown notice. And at first there was some confusion because we had a story recently that some people have come forward and said, we've gotten fans to take down things pretending that we were Nintendo, and it actually wasn't Nintendo sending these notices, it was actually us, so there, ha. Why that's a cool thing, I don't know, because it isn't, but anyway, so there was some thinking here that perhaps this was one of those situations. It wasn't actually Nintendo, so the guy contacted the lawyer mentioned in the takedown notice, and a whole bunch of stuff occurred, and yeah, it turns out it actually is Nintendo. They don't want this happening, and of course they don't want this happening if they ever want to do a Metroid 2 remake, or just even put Metroid 2 out on a virtual console. They don't want this fan's version out there in the wild, and so even that fan who created this thing has come forward and said, don't be mad at Nintendo, it's their IP, it's their right to protect their IP. And so I totally agree, you know, we love fan games, but they are not legal, let's be real here. Our next couple stories are about amazing things that fans have made for Pokemon Go. One is a thing that looks like a POKÉCENTER, but what it actually is a solar power energy generator. It collects solar power, and it has plugins, USB plugins for people to plug in their iPhones, so that way they can power up their because let's be real here, Pokemon Go drains your battery like nothing else, and so you can come to this POKÉCENTER and plug in your phone, charge it back up, and then head on out to catch this Pokemon. That's really cool. Our next story is about somebody who created a POKÉBALL, which pulls data from Pokemon Go's server, and we'll get to that in a second, why I don't think that's going to last. Pulls data from their server in order to tell if there are any rare Pokemon nearby, and if there are, then it will jiggle the Pokéball. And that's a really cool idea, but Pokemon Go has made it crystal clear they do not like the idea of people third parties pulling data from their server in that kind of way. And in fact, they've put a stop to Pokevision and all those other apps and whatnot that were doing that, pulling information to know where the Pokemon exactly were. And so they've recoded the game to make that not as likely. So this thing is not going to last much longer if it even works at all anymore. Our next story is about a Legend of Zelda music collection CD that takes tracks from various Legend of Zelda games, which is really cool, except if you have been collecting the various soundtracks for these games, you've got these exact same tracks already. Why do you need this CD? And especially in this day and age of CDs, why are we even producing physical CDs for this kind of stuff anyway? I mean, I know there are collectors out there who want a physical thing to display in their fancy glass cases. I have a friend who has all kinds of Zelda paraphernalia in fancy glass cases. I get that that's a thing that people enjoy doing. I don't understand it. That's not something that I'm into, but I get that that's something other people like to do, so that's cool. You know, more power to you, but you've already got these songs if you already have the soundtracks to these games. Maybe, though, it's a situation where there are plenty of friends who don't have these soundtracks and don't know that things like YouTube exist where you can find these songs and listen to them, so, you know, I guess it's out there for some people. I'm not going to be buying it. Our next story is about one of the producers of the Sonic series, and I don't know a whole lot about the Sonic series, so maybe this is the creator of the Sonic games? I don't know. When I was a kid, Sega was completely separate from Nintendo. Sonic was not on Nintendo platforms. They were the enemy. So we didn't do Sonics stuff. But now Sonic is over in the Nintendo family, and I still haven't really gotten into Sonic. I played basically every movie. I'm not a super huge fan, so I don't really know who the creators and producers are. So I should have looked that up before I started the story. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyways, this guy named NAKA, or whatever, who's at least a producer of Sonic, has said that he approached Mr. Miyamoto a while back with the idea of Sonic and Mario co-starring in an adventure game together, and Miyamoto said, why would we need something like that? There's obviously no reason, no real need for Sonic and Mario to play star in games together, specifically in action kind of way. And he's right. First of all, how would that even work? Like, Sonic's whole thing is he goes ridiculously fast. You wouldn't want to play a Mario game where you have to, like, it's like a platform where you have to carefully jump from one thing to the other going super duper fast. That's why Sonic games in this day and age are on rails, so you can't even really miss those jumps. So I don't know how that would even work, and I agree with Mr. Miyamoto, why would anybody really want that? So that's kind of why the Sonic and Mario at the Olympics game is a thing, is because they're like, well, then let's make them, you know, battle against each other in some kind of way. So now we know how that all came about. Anyways, that is it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys in a couple days for more news. Bye, guys.